This is Mike 7, Charlie Sierra. Displayed on the live stream is a log for last week. And, of course, click the right buttons because this is all a little bit different. So, yeah, I'm hearing myself now coming back through the live stream. So, yeah, I better turn that down as well. So, that's all good. So, I've got to press all the right little buttons. And, of course, yeah, a bit flustered using a different system. So, yeah, it is a little bit hard there. So, I've gone on to my log, and oh, there it is. Get rid of it. So, I've got 2W0 APD Andy. He keyed up just as the live stream was up and going. M7EMH is in the Echolink, so we'll take them as advanced check-ins. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to call for check-ins. So if you'd like to check in to the Wales Ragchew Net, go ahead with your call sign, name and location.
N6 UTC.
Yeah, N6 UTC, end off there. Nice to have you in the log. Got you in as number 3. So if you'd like to be number 4 for the Wales Ragchew Net, go ahead with your call sign, name and location.
G0 EUZ, Rod in Cambridge.
Yeah, thanks very much there, Rod. G0 EUZ, Rod in Cambridge. So I've seen Brad in the Echolink there. I thought it was going to be a race between DMR and Echolink there. I know that you are there, Brad, so what I will do is I'll chuck you in there, KG5, AZX, and this is where we find out you don't have a DMR ID, but, oh yeah, and you don't. So I'll put the extra info in there. So that's Brad via Echolink. So I'll see if anybody else would like to be number 6 into the Wales Ragchew Net. If you would, go ahead and location.
2W0VOG, Steve in Penarth, South Wales. Good evening, Chris. Back to you.
Yep, 2W0VOG, Steve in Penarth there. I might have been a bit quick on the key there. But yep, I've got you in the log. So if you'd like to be number 7 for the Wales Ragchew Net, go ahead with your call sign, name and location.
W0GSR, Simon, here in little old Porthmadog.
Yeah, MW0GSR, Simon, you did threaten me you were going to be on. So, yep, got you in the log there, not a problem. So, if you'd like to be number 8, go ahead with your call sign, name and location for the Wales Ragchew Net. Okay, Mike 7, Charlie Sierra. Well, a little bit enthusiastic there, and what I normally do is I will call for 5 check-ins, and then, of course, pass it round the check-ins. I had a couple of pre-check-ins. We got 7 in the log on the first round, so not so bad if everybody's there. So what we'll do is we'll go round to Andy in Swansea, 2W0APD. We'll find out what he's been up to this week. Round to you there, Andy. Okay, nothing heard from Andy. So we'll try for City in Echolink. Yeah, confused there because of course, yeah, the name's come up as Chris. But yeah, Pablo's played with a log for me today so that things will show up better on the live stream. So round to you there, City M7EMH. Okay, nothing heard from City. This is going really well. Yeah, I've decided I will mark those stations as listen onlys. And then, of course, well, we'll go round to end after I did hear voice. N6 UTC.
Yeah, Chris and everybody, this is NDAV N6 UTC here up in Signal Hill, about 80 meters above sea level. It's ARRL VHF contest weekend. I got line of sight to my gateway in Cyprus, so I'm saying hello and I'm saying goodbye. Thanks for picking me up, Chris. N6 UTC, going back to contesting.
Yep, okay there, NDAF, not a problem there. And we will bid you 7-3 there. So we'll go round to Rod, G0, EUZ, round to you there, Rod.
G0 EZ, back to the group. Well, good evening to NDAF and good luck with the HF UHF. Yeah, brilliant. And a very good evening to Simon. Nice to... Not a lot to report at the moment, but we'll see how the evening program. I did try yesterday on all bands really, with a remote station, but I got nothing really, which was a shame. I noticed that my antenna's down, so what's caused that, I don't know, but there you go. Back to you, Chris. 7 EMH, G0, EUZ.
Yeah, Mike 7, Charlie Sierra. That's a pain, that is, because even when they are dying, they still do receive something, don't they? So you actually physically go out and have a look. But, of course, yeah, you can not notice it, and then, yeah, all of a sudden you'll go, oh, what's my long wire doing on the floor? Yeah, it's happened to me a couple of times, but sure you'll get it sorted and get it back up there, and of course, yeah, remember what we were talking about the other week, of course. Steve put his long wire back up, but he didn't use any shock cord. Yeah, that's the thing to remember there. It all depends where it actually went, where the weak point was. So we go round to Brad in the Echolink, KG5AZX.
Good evening, Chris, and everybody else on the radio. KG5AZX. It's been a fairly good week here. The temperatures have stayed a little bit lower than they had been. Right now it's about 76 degrees, 77 degrees, something like that. I had to go to the surgeon yesterday to see how my hip's doing, and he's sort of wanting to threaten me that I may have to have it completely replaced, but we'll know better because they're going to do a CAT scan on it. I'm having an excellent week, actually, that way. So far, so good. Thank you, Chris. TG5 ATX.
Yeah, Mike 7, Charlie Sierra. Thanks very much there, Brad. And nice to hear from you again. And I'm sure we're going to be round to you again soon. So we're going to go round to Steve now. Well, his G5 VOG, but on his QRZ, he still hasn't changed it, has he? If you keep nagging him, he won't change it, I think. But of course, he might end up having to change it. 2W0 VOG, round to you there, Steve.
2W0 VOG, yeah, thank you, Chris. Yeah, I'm very lazy. What normally happens is I think, oh, I'll do that straight after Saturday, and then I forget. And then when I remember, I think, oh, it's too near next Saturday, because it might not go through, so I won't be able to come on the Ragchew Net. So it goes on like that. So one day I'll get round to it. It doesn't really matter. I've told you before, I quite like using my old call sign as well. So there we go. Right, you will remember that I wasn't on last week, and I went out for a meal with my sister-in-law and their family and my wife. So it was 9 of us, and they booked. I thought, this is great. They booked the table for 6 o'clock. So I thought, well, I'll be back home in time, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, I got home about 7:45, but actually, just before we left the restaurant, my wife, foolishly, invited them all around to our house. In my living room and thought, oh, I could just hear who's on Alexa. So I put it on, and guess what? You were talking about me, Chris. How about that for spookiness? You weren't saying anything rude then, though, so it's all right. So that's just as well, isn't it? Anyway, yeah. Right, so I'll pass back to you. So 2W0 VOG to M7CCS. Over to you, Chris.
Yeah, Mike 7, Charlie Sierra. Thanks very much there, Steve. And of course, yeah, you remembered the Alexa, and it worked there. So yeah, able to listen. Of course, there's YouTube now. If this goes pretty well, it seems to be going a little bit better. And of course, yeah, I've just shared the link out on the groups instead, and there are people watching there. People are going to be thinking, where is it? But of course, they'll go on, they'll see the link, they'll see the video, they get to rewatch it, and they'll remember for next week, hopefully. So we're going to go round to Simon MW0 GSR, and I'm going to play with the live stream, and so that I can get audio behind our XLX window when I actually put that one on. Over to you there, Simon.
Yeah, okay. M7CCS W.D.R.G. Well, don't normally do that. I'm usually on my DStar radio. Good to hear everybody. Great to hear the Echolink in there. Good to know it's all working. Had a bit of a dodgy week. Well, yesterday, a bit of a panic. I got home and all the power had gone on the street, which isn't good because that kills all the links and gateways here and all the bridging and things like that. So, yeah, kind of made a mess. But I've got a casualty, which I'm looking at right now. Just looking at a PC that seems to have given up the ghost. And it's my main PC as well, the one that I use for all my FT8 and everything like that. So I'm quite disappointed. But more importantly, everything else is working. I've had to rebuild a Pi yesterday, just to get the bridging working. It seems to be. I see myself going through the system. And just watching Chris's little stream here on YouTube. Interested to know where you get your feeds from and things like that. Your audio feeds, how you doing that? But yeah, I haven't been on for a while. Work, summer season, and I've been pretty much on call every week, stuff like that. So it's tiring, but this weekend I am free. Next weekend I won't be around again. Busy weekend. I've got a busy weekend. Celebrations, things like that. It's that time of year. Mid-September. So yeah, it's all good fun. But good to be on the radio. Get my HF gear back up and running. We've got the railways on the air happening the week after next, so a couple of people may want to remote into the system, people like Neil and things like that. So I've got to make sure it all works. And looking forward to that. So the W.D.R.G, hopefully all piling in to Portsmouth the week after next, GB1 WHR, Heritage Railway. So there you go. Right, Chris, stop playing around. I'll pass it back to you. M7CCS W0G yourself.
Yeah, Mike. Okay, I went a bit through, but Charlie Sierra, that's the joy of the delay before the live stream gets there. Of course, I'd already finished playing around. By the time you sent it back to me, the audio is coming via CQNorthwest. You can do level bars going up, and on there I'm showing a little bit of our server on the side, the chip dashboard. Does the M7CCS as normal. A little monkey, top right hand corner. That's meant to be the YouTube chat. Put it all in there. But that's their response for it's not working. So forward monkey, and it says YouTube, which is and then of course maps, and then YSF going out across the bottom, and then of course the information scrolling across the bottom. I thought I'd put it out to YouTube, try and do it via YouTube, see how it works, and of course if people understand that, website updated, and that's WW UK, and to the live stream will reflect onto YouTube, and then of course people know where to find the live stream. One of the reasons doing it was I started doing some posts today, and a lot of them started getting restricted because there was no characters. Something also that all groups have done, because it happens to our groups. But I've been able to turn it off there. It was under a criteria thing, so a lot of the groups I wouldn't be able to get the live stream out there. So I thought, wow, if I can try and do it to YouTube. So that's what I've done. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to see if anybody else would like to check into the Wales Ragchew Net. If you would, go ahead with your call sign, name and location, and it over. Okay, nothing heard there. What we'll do is go around the list we've already got. So, all the way down to Ender, on there. And so he is still in there, but, what you'll have to do when I call to state yourself, send me an old little message, and, I'll be able to indeed, exactly. If you are listening. So we'll go to W.D.R.G EZ.
Yeah, everything otherwise came through fine. Nice to hear you on again, Simon. Busy. And yeah, nothing worse. At least you know what you're doing. Nothing worse. At least you know what you're doing. Weather-wise, with quite cold this morning. Although it was bright, it was quite cold this morning. Although it was bright, but during the afternoon it was. But during the afternoon it's kind of cooler again. And then it's kind of cooler again. So I'm sat here with a blanket over my lap. Sat here with a blanket over my lap. But I have been out actually. I have been out actually. I've gone out to do a job on. I bought a new one strimmer. Trimmer with it. I couldn't believe it, you know, how heavy it was. And I took my grandson with me to do the work. But he had a try, and yeah, it wasn't. That's for sure. So I've only bought it last week. It's try and sell it. Yeah, I shan't be doing it. I'll have to find some other way of doing. He's only 15. Yeah, he was having to hold it up high. To get. So back to you, Chris. M7CCS. T0 EUZ.
Yeah, Mike 7, Charlie Sierra, Charlie Sierra, yeah, I could hear it. I couldn't work out where from. The curse, the streaming software I'm using. Normally, if you add an extra source, you've got to add audio in there as well. The audio doesn't get heard. And of course, that's what I thought was happening. But I went the audio stream in there, and by putting the audio in there, I created an echo. I've certainly have one off. I will play again and work out how to turn the second audio off. Because it will just be a click of a button, and then I will be able to display where the audio is coming from. Basically, I take the audio from cqnorthwest. So it comes out via their system, so it's good how it comes out there. It basically, it used to be hidden behind. But I put it out front, because that's where the audio is coming from. There was, of course, give kudos for that. Right, what we'll do now, we will go around to Brad, KG5, ALLSTAR, and we are missing someone. You might call in yet. So, around to you there, Brad, KG5, ALLSTAR.
Good afternoon for everybody out there. I'm glad to hear everybody this week. I haven't got up to your live stream. I only have one computer type right now. That happens to be my phone. My good computer, the fan went out on it, and completely destroyed the fan, so I'm trying to get that corner fixed up. So maybe I can go on that one and get onto your live stream. Sounds like a really good. From last night I'm just glad to be on the Echolink today, because last night, for some reason, I was trying to get on, talk to somebody back in New York, and for some reason we had so much RFI on it that it just literally wiped out Echolink here. So, other than that, I'm having a really good week, and I hope everybody else is too. We're coming up on those holidays here pretty soon, so we need to be thinking about those. I'm going to tell you, I'm the worst one. I always wait till the last minute. So, good afternoon, and I'm going to have to step back from the radio for a little while, from the Echolink for a little while, and I will talk to you probably next week from the looks of it, I hope. 7-3, everybody out there. Good afternoon. TG5AZX, back to you, Chris.
Yeah, Mike 7, Charlie Sierra, not a problem there, lad. And of course, yeah, we've got your 7-3 there. So I've marked you as 7-3. So nice to hear from you there, Brad. And we'll now go round to Steve, 2W0VOG, and then it'll be around to Simon, and then we'll call for some more check-ins. And we'll see if we can't fill that log up a little bit. It doesn't always matter whether we do or whether we don't. It's not the amount of people into the net, it's the quality of the net. That's what people have started to say, isn't it, Rod? So we'll go round to Steve, 2W0VOG.
2W0VOG returning. Thank you, Chris. Good evening to everyone. I haven't said that yet. So, Endav, Rod, Simon. That's nice to hear you, Simon. Brad, I think Sooty and Andy may be listening, and maybe someone else who I've missed out. Anyway, good evening to everyone. Yes, Chris, I've switched YouTube on. I'm watching it on there. I do prefer it to Facebook. I spend a lot of the day looking at YouTube, far too much actually. I'm kind of almost addicted to it. So I'm very much used to using it, shall we say. Facebook I don't use very much. I don't really find it a lot harder to sort of control and that sort of thing. For some reason, if I try and get your live feed on Facebook, sometimes I just can't get it for some reason. So yeah, I hope you keep it on YouTube, because as I say, I like it. Haven't done much radio myself, other than just a bit of FT8 every night, and that's it. The weather is improving this week, I think. We've had bad weather the last couple of weeks, but it's going to improve. We've had quite a nice weekend. It's going to be quite good coming up. So I might try and, I've got some sort of portable ham sticks and stuff like that, and a telescopic MFJ whip. I might try and do a bit of radio from the garden. So there we are. Look forward to that, maybe. So, M7CCS, 2W0VOG, back to you, Chris.
Yeah, Mike 7, Charlie Sierra, and I better apologise for those caps in the chat. There is actually an active chat as well. So you've got, it comes up as top chat, and then it comes up as live chat. And then by clicking at the top. But yeah, basically it might just come up as comments for you guys, but I've got like a full chat window. So of course, yeah, it means there are pros and pluses and negatives of doing it. So via YouTube, yep, all the catalogues from now will go into a playlist of Ragchews, and hopefully they should stay there after the live stream. Of course, I made sure that I gave all the announcements out for the first bit, the music at the beginning and stuff, and the copyrights, like it was advised to do from where I got the music from. So I done that, and of course, yep, the live stream's all still going. So it went through YouTube moderation. So that's all good. And of course, yeah, many other things. So yeah, you've got the live chat window. What I like about Facebook, you can put the live stream there, you share it, and when you share it, basically it goes as a video already going, so it can be seen. It's like embedded. Whereas you share the link for YouTube, and it's just basically an image and there's a video to say it's the starting. I don't know if anyone, well, I haven't looked whilst we're on the net, because I'm doing other things as well, but I don't know whether on the actual Facebook, whether when you see the link it is actually playing now as well. But I'm unaware of that. But like I said, it's the first time putting it onto YouTube. Of course, I've used YouTube before. It was a case of just putting the streaming software over to there. And of course, the other thing is, the positive is all the messages are in the same place. Whereas when you multi-share over Facebook, if someone comments and they think that it's going straight to the net controller, it's not getting straight there. So that was another reason for it. So what we're going to do now is we're going to go around to Simon MW0GSR before I have to hit the timeout on myself.
Yeah, thanks, Chris. MW0GSR. Oh, great information there. You've caught me just right, because I was getting a bit frustrated then. I was threatening this little PC. It will not fire up. Power supply's gone, I haven't got a spare one. I've got to have to take the power supply apart and find out what's blown. Oh, never mind. I appreciate the confidence from the others that say that at least I'll be able to fix it. I'm not sure on this case. Yeah, I think it needs a bit more than a defib on this one. But either way, I don't know what happened to this PC. It's obviously had a surge. It's popped it. But yeah, I've got Elizabeth with me at the minute as well. She's doing coursework, I think. So yeah, it's good to be home. We've had a good day out today. We went around Port Valley, did a bit of shopping and what have you. It was a lovely day. It wasn't cold, and a bit of sunshine out, so we had a nice little coffee and a cafe. And we even had our young daughter with us, which is rare. But the boys are still working on the weekend. So it's still pretty much summertime here, but the kids have gone home. But people who don't like being around lots of children have now come on holiday here to the seaside town. So yeah, we're still very busy in the area. But, like I say, I'm looking forward to 2 weeks' time when the W.D.R.G boys turn up. And so we had to case out one of the pubs just to make sure that they're still serving good beer. Yeah, our favourite place in Australia. But yeah, apart from that, it's all been busy, busy, busy. Go, go, go with work. And yeah, I'm hoping things will quieten down for the next few weeks. Not too much, but enough to have a bit of spare time and spend some time with the family, to be honest. They've been very busy during the summer. None of us have seen each other. It's been passing ships. And radio-wise, the biggest radio stuff I've done was back in May. Gosh, all that time ago. And yeah, quite jealous of Endaf. He's doing his VHF, UHF field day. Yeah, sadly we're not going to be able to give him any points. It would be good though, wouldn't it? Although, knowing Endaf, he's probably got his satellite gear with him. But if he's in direct line of sight of his link or gateway back home, he's not too far away from home, is he? So there you go. Right, here, Chris, going to pass it back to you and keep it going around, and hopefully he's got some other stations that want to call him. Back to you.
Very much there, Simon. Yeah, I found a downside to my shack rearrangement yesterday. when I'm actually sat in the chair, as per se, I can't actually see my gateway. MB6CS. I can't see it. Oh, I can now. Now I've raised the chair, I can see the light on. But that's about as much as I can see of it. So I moved my gateway because it was interfering with the radio that I use for 2 and 70. Of course, it's actually above one of the screens now. In a sense, it's on a shelf. It's properly on a shelf, but it's above. And of course, yeah, I can't see it. I could hear it whirling away, but I couldn't see it there. But of course, I don't need to look up there because, as you can all see on the live stream, you can see the WiresX going out there at the bottom anyway. So yeah, I only need to look there to know that it's working. Yeah, radio wise this week as well. So yeah, I moved that. I programmed up. I've got 2 of them. Bofang B1, the radio is called, and I bought them originally from the ALLSTAR node, and they're 2 watts. I wouldn't really, although I've got VHF in there, repeaters now. Yeah, I wouldn't really rate it too much on going on there because the antenna is diddy. So if you Google a Bofang BF-B1 and you see the little diddy radio that it is, of course, yeah, you wouldn't want to go to VHF on that antenna. I have opened up a repeater with it, but yeah, I programmed all the little local repeaters in and, well, went out on a little recce in the car. And surprisingly, I was hearing them on the little BF-B1. I did go into the HubNet repeater, CC, and of course, yeah, line of sight to it anyway, and managed to get to it. Of course, the radio will do 2 watt and 1 watt. It's probably, well, half a milliwatt and 1 watt, more like. But yeah, and Steve has found the chap now, W.D.R.G. He's just wrote in there, so that's all good. And of course, that's how quick it comes up for me as well, so I see it if I'm looking at the screen. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to see if anyone else would like to check into the Wales Ragchew Net. You get it over with your check-in at this point. So if you'd like to check in, go ahead with your call sign, name and location, and an over.
Whiskey Alpha 5, Romeo India Papa, Michael in Lebanon, Tennessee, United States of America, joining the Ragchew Net, better late than never, here from Lebanon, Tennessee, where it's about 25 degrees Celsius. Tropical Storm Francine just passed to the west of us. We have not gotten the rain, but we have got some of the drier conditions off the side of the tropical. It's no longer a hurricane, it's now a tropical depression. But we'll have rain coming in later on. Just wanted to check into the net, and it seems like everything's going along as it should. I'll turn it back to you, Chris. Whiskey Alpha 5, Romeo India Papa.
Yeah, Mike 7, Charlie Sierra. Yeah, got you checked in there, Michael. Better late than never. And yeah, we'll see if you're watching the live stream. I put a little joke in there in the extra information call sign, column next to your call sign. But good to have you in there, Michael. Yep, we'll see if anybody else would like to join in. If they would, go ahead with your call sign, name and location, and it over.
2 Whiskey Zero, Alpha Papa Delta, Andy from Swansea. We have been plagued with broadband issues for the last kind of 2 weeks, but hopefully this is working now. Been a busy week, and looking forward to the weekend. Over.
Yeah, Mike 7, Charlie Sierra, thanks very much there, Andy, and of course, yeah, I've instated you as the #1, and I've now found out that Michael is watching the live stream. I put a little joke in there. I put late, note from wife, but yeah, little joke there. So that's all good. So you are in as number 1 there, Andy. But you'll basically be as soon as we go back round the list. So if anyone else would like to check in, go ahead with your call sign, name and location. Go ahead with your call sign, name and location, and an over. Okay, nothing heard. So what I'll do it a little bit differently. We're here from Michael again, and then we will go to the top of the list. We're here from Andy, and then of course we'll go round the rest of the list there, and then it will be Rod after. So we go to Whiskey Alpha 5, Romeo India Papa, Michael.
Thanks, Chris. This is Whiskey Alpha 5, Romeo India Papa. Wasn't expecting to come back up so quick, but I guess that's my turn in the rotation. Sorry for being late today. I've been battling either a sinus infection or allergies or something all week. Haven't had much sleep at night, and a lot of congestion and sore throat during the day. And I laid down after lunch and just didn't get back up in time. That's my only poor, pitiful excuse. But hopefully I'll get some more medicine here and clear me up a little bit and get back on the road to recovery. I am feeling a little bit better this morning. Kind of lags through the day. But things have been going okay here. Like I said, the Hurricane Francine, who hit the Louisiana coast yesterday, I guess, has slowly meandered up the Mississippi, and it's went just to the west of where I live. And so far we haven't gotten much rain, just a little bit of rain here and there from it. But they say we're going to get some more this evening, and it looks like it is moving in according to radar. Like I said, I've had some pretty good luck this week with FD8. Hit a lot of European stations on 10 and 20 meters and even 30 meters this week. So it's been off and on, up and down. A lot of times in the morning, not much action, but later on in the day, quite a bit more action. And with that, I'll turn it back to you. I think I heard Rod in there. Hello, Rod. Hope you're doing well this week. And I'll turn it back to you, Chris. Whiskey Alpha 5, Romeo India Papa.
Yeah, Mike 7, Charlie Sierra, and yeah, Rod is in there as well. Of course, yeah, it's good to have you on there, and of course, yeah, sorry you're feeling under the weather there, of course, yeah, well, we'll have a mention of Donna. She's come back. She is in the kitchen, but yeah, she's got a cure for that man flu kind of stuff and whatever. Alcohol. So we go round to Andy, 2W0 APD in Swansea.
2 Whiskey 0.
Okay, Mike 7, Charlie Sierra. I did click the timeout button, but that was only to give a signal there that that dropped out there, Andy. Yeah, if you want to try again, of course, yeah, those broadband gremlins might still be there. If you want to try again, Andy, 2W0 APD. Okay, we can all imagine it now, sat there with the hot spot, smoke pouring out of it. No, they don't do that. They just overheat and get very, very hot and then don't work. Yeah, maybe there is an issue there other than the broadband. It might actually be the hot spot. But we'll try again next time we come round. So we go to Rod G0EUZ. Round to you there, Rod, in Cambridge.
G0EUZ, back to the group. Yeah, leave it to Andy there. Send the threes to Brad if you're still listening. Hopefully catch you next week. And yes, Michael, I'm not doing too bad. I'm just sorry to hear that you're not well. It's you're usually all right. So yeah, and obviously your weather is a problem. So we're expecting some decent weather next week, which is going right up. Not that I've got anything to do, but we can all hope. Yeah, man, the telescopic fiberglass pole that's give up the ghost and come down is. It'll adjust with a change in temperature, probably overnight. It'll drop down, so it just needs tightening up. So that's. They had it all for over a week. Indoors, which is a good sign. Maybe she didn't notice it. Oh, she's just been very nice. I don't. So we shall have to see. So yes, Simon, I always used to like a walk round when I was down there. Fishing tackle shop. But I used to, wander through them all and usually have a pint or so. Buy loads of tatty tools off the bullet full of cheap tools, because, they're rusted anyway. It was ideal, really. So, yeah, all good. So, for you in a couple of weeks' time on the railway. And see if I can't come across, I think it would be for me. You, Chris M7CCS.
Yeah, Mike 7, Charlie Sierra. Well, you're welcome to come across, and of course, yeah, you can basically come and join in the fun. So hopefully that's all good. Looking for myself to actually be going across. Yeah, I can't see myself, but I can actually see myself in the window before it goes out the live stream. So I must be getting out there. But yeah, it's all good. So next we're going to go around to Steve, 2W0VOG.
2W0VOG returning, thank you, Chris. Yeah, good evening to Michael. Better late than never, as you said. Sorry to hear you've been a little bit off colour. That sounds like you're not too bad now. And I hope the weather doesn't get too rough for you. Yeah, I was just looking at Andy's QRZ page. He's got a really nice address in Swansea, Summer Place. How nice is that? So, yeah, it made me think about when I first met my wife. She was living in Swansea, and I went down to stay with her for a couple of weeks in the summer. And I was expecting Swansea to be, the usual thing, coal mines, steel works, that sort of thing, horrible place. And I was blown over by how nice it was. And we spent most of the time on the beach. she lived on Oystermouth Road, so we just came out of the building and stepped over the road and we were on the beach. And the weather was absolutely amazing. It was roasting hot, and she ended up actually getting heat stroke or something. She had to go to the doctor. And yeah, so happy memories of summers in Swansea. Yeah, so I think you said the railway's on the air is in 2 weeks' time. 2 weeks' time, I'm going up to the National Ham Fest. So that restricts how much I could look out for you on the airwaves, but I'll do my best, try and pick you up. That would be rather nice. I keep saying to myself that I'm going to go up and see you when you're doing it 1 year, but then there's always something that gets in the way. So sounds like this Hamfest is yet another thing. Yeah, I think I keep thinking I want to go to Blackpool, see you lot there, but was I right in thinking that, Chris, you said you might not be going next year? Anyway, you can tell me about that when I pass back to you now. So 2W0VOG back to M7CCS, Chris, the net controller.
Mike 7, Charlie Sierra. I did not say I will not be going next year. Of course, it might have been about the National Hamfest, actually, because it's something that actually happens. It kind of, sometimes it can coincide like a week before or a week after Rota. Sometimes it coincides on Rota, but Rota moves around a little bit so that it's on a weekend as well. So yeah, the two events kind of do collide sometimes. But of course, yeah, very much will be at Blackpool. It was the still not too sure now at the moment whether I'm actually going to be at Rota. But of course, we got 2 weeks to play with before that. So we're going to go round to Simon now. MW0 GSR.
Yeah, thanks, Chris. MW0GSR. Good evening, Michael. Great to hear you out there. Sorry you've been feeling under the weather, but you're turning around, which is great. And yeah, like Rod said, the dodgy weather, you get more extreme weather than we do here. I'm saying that while I'm touching wood. It'll be just that one time when we'll get something dodgy coming through. But yeah, no, we've got decent weather coming through. Usual thing, Indian summer, end of September type thing. Yeah, mustn't grumble. And yeah, feel free to come over. Everybody's welcome. Come and see the steam engines. There will be no steam engines running that weekend. It's diesels only. They put the steam locos to bed for the summer. But they're still there to see and climb all over and have a go on. And I'm sure that you'll probably hear somebody train mobile. We'll see. Yeah, the National. It's a bit of a flummox this year because obviously it's moved after their troubles last year and this year when it was all cancelled and things like that. Then they've got it all up and running again. Good for them. And we would normally go along. I've been invited by a lot of people. So when you do pop up to the National, you'll see some good friends of mine. Derek will be there with his little flea stand outside. You'll see him wearing his RNLI SOS stuff. So make sure you go and say hello to him and tell him you know us. He's usually got loads of stuff on his stand. And then a good friend of mine from just down the road, he's doing the Friday, I think. He's taking some gear in. But then he's coming to Rota here the day after, so the Saturday. So it's all go. Yeah, mustn't grumble. A few problems with hotspots and things. I had them yesterday, and I've had to rebuild one because it's lucky I've got spares. Yeah, because it popped. It didn't go bang, Chris. Didn't go with smoke or anything. Well, I don't think it did. I wasn't here when it happened. But like you say, I think it just switched off. The power supply that I used for it on this particular one, it was the Echolink bridge one, that decided to just go bang. Don't know what came through the system, some surge of some sort. And then, yeah, the Pi just died. So there you go. So the Echolink is all running great again. It's got It's actually got a spanking new card in it as well, so there you go. But apart from that, it's all working well. Oh yeah, just a quick one from Michael, just so you know what I'm eating, because it's been such a long time since I've been on, and we haven't talked about food for a while. I'm eating basic ravioli tonight. We're having ravioli and chips. Very odd, I know, but it's a basic dinner tonight. My Liz can't be bothered to cook too much, because she's doing UCAS forms for a university course and stuff. Whatever that all means, it's all good fun. I'm lucky I don't have to do all that kind of stuff anymore. Anyway, back to you, Chris.
Yeah, Mike 7, Charlie Sierra, thanks very much there, Simon. And you didn't time out there, lucky, because I was in front of the PC. Out in the garden, looking at 1,000 LEDs lit up. Yeah, installed them yesterday. I haven't checked the HF noise yet, but I think they're actually okay. They don't flash when I tune up, so that's a good thing. So it's all good there. But of course, yeah, talking of HF noise and stuff like that, yeah, I want to pick brains on that. Thinking of actually putting some RFI filtering in to basically filter out the mains from HF and stuff. So of course, yeah, thinking of that. Getting myself just a little bit confused when I look at trying to look at like a pre-made socket. Does anyone know of some already on the market that you just plug into the socket and away you go? Or do I need to get some ferrites and start winding wires and then connect it up that way? Yeah, that's all good. We're going to go round to Michael, Whiskey Alpha 5, Romeo India Papa. Round to you there, Michael.
Well, thank you, Chris. This is Whiskey Alpha 5, Romeo India Papa. And I did have for lunch today, my wife made a spaghetti, made her own sauce with a sausage instead of a normal hamburger meat, what we usually have, and with a different kind of noodle. It was a hollow spaghetti noodle. I wish I could tell you I remember what the name of it was, but I don't. I'll have to ask her yet again. But it was very delicious. A little grated Parmesan cheese on top of that. It was a perfect lunch for me. And so that's our food porn. Since I'm late today, that's our food porn for this for me this afternoon. And with that, I'll turn it back to you, Chris. Whiskey Alpha 5, Romeo India Papa.
And Mike 7, Charlie Sierra, thanks very much there. I have got a question for Andy. I was going to tap it there, but it's quicker to just say it. If you are watching the live stream. Obviously from the net last week, they said about boiling stuff. So of course, yeah, that's what I done. I basically put them into the system. Okay, I saw 2W0APD on the dashboard. I think we might have had a network crash. But if anyone is hearing me, I can see MB6IPG working, I can see everything working. I'm going directly through MB6CS gateway. Talking of hotspots, and then yeah, it seems like mine is gone. In that moment, as to say. So what I will do is I'll just give that call out, and I'll see if anybody else would like to check in. If they would, go ahead with their call sign, name, and location. Okay, nothing heard, so we will give Andy a go, as we did see him come up on the dashboard. 2W0APD. Okay, nothing heard there, but of course, everything basically, yeah, it seems like I am going through the system. You know, it's that thing. Am I going through? Am I not? When you don't get a response, but you might be receiving on the live stream with a delay. So we'll go around to Rod G0 EUZ.
G0 EUZ and back to the group. Yeah, a lot of problems with you there, Chris. You were on. But prior to that, you were in and out, just a long gap of nothing on the game either. So, about range filters, I don't know that there is any such thing as a commercial one. It's a Scottish station. I don't think is it GM3 SEC or something similar to that. And it's really two bits. Main filter and a ferrite wound. And it works really well. I can't say that it made a huge difference in my shack because I don't have a lot of main. My problem noise-wise is it's coming through the antenna. It's it's picked up on the antenna and fetched in. But I've got all sorts of windings and stuff on, so. But that's the only one I can think of. And like I say, once you bought the bits, they're readily available. I think it's. But yeah, quite easy in a plastic box. And then a socket bank. So it is an all. So it works very nicely. So back to you, Chris. M7.
Yeah, Mike 7 Charlie Sierra returning on DMR. Hopefully, I'm going to start flying out of the other radio, but I've now turned it off. I'll keep an eye on MB6IPG. Strange one, that hotspot just went down in the middle. But of course, yeah, I did an update and it started working again. And I'm now talking on it again. So yeah, normal service should resume on the live stream as well. The dashboard will actually change to the people talking. So we go around to Steve 2W0VOG.
2W0VOG returning. Thank you, Chris. Yeah, I lost you for a bit. And you know, you called out for Andy. If you look on the live stream, I think he said he can't transmit, getting a high error rate, but he is still listening. So yeah, yeah, I'm actually been a bit naughty. I've been doing a bit of FT8 while I've been sat here, just idle hands and all that, and yeah, it seems quite good on 40 meters at the moment. But there we are. I haven't got my hand clock on that tells me which band is good. I think I did have it on, but it's got, sometimes it does a weird thing where it when I transmit on FT8, it knocks off the video for the hand clock. Anyway, yes, 20 meters is the best band at the moment, followed by 40 meters, which is quite good. So that's all right. I do have problems now to get on 20 meters. Something goes a bit wrong with it, and it starts going into permanent transmit if you don't watch out, which is not very good, especially if you don't notice it for a bit. Yeah, so yeah, the hotspots are troublesome things, definitely. I've had to restart mine a couple of times, that's all. Never had any serious trouble with it, but lots of people you hear say when they're on the air, as it were, you hear them saying, "Oh, I'm in trouble with the hotspot." So they are troublesome. So yeah, Chris. So M7CCS and 2W0VOG, back to you.
Yeah, Mike 7, Charlie Sierra. Well, of course, yeah, you know, they can be troublesome, and of course, yeah, it's the first time that the hotspot has let me down in the middle of a ragchew. But of course, yeah, when those updates come, don't they? But yeah, I was using the radio on the gateway when I was outside. I came back inside, went to use the MD9600, and yeah, it was having it, and then it decided it wasn't having it while I was in the middle of transmitting. But yeah, it's not a problem. I was able to go to the WiresX radio, and of course then I heard myself coming through, so it all works. Don is sat here listening. I can just see it come up on the screen there on YouTube. So of course, yeah, you can have a chat with Donna and Michael like you did on Facebook. She's not got it anymore. But that's the other tick in the column, I suppose. Everyone can chat in the chat window in the same place as well. So yeah, we've got to see where we are going. I'm losing track of time. So yeah, how could I forget where it was going next? Yeah, Simon MW0 GSR. Right to you then.
M7CCS. MW0 GSR, yes, I'm quite forgetful, or forgettable. That's what I say to my customers when I see them. They're like, "Oh, it's you again. There you go. Forgot you were coming. There you go." Yeah, yeah, a few problems there. I thought, oh, here we go. Is it me? No, it's not me. It's all good. And yeah, no, I've got hotspots that have been on for years, but then just randomly they'll just pop or do something. The gateway one that I'm on now, I'm touching wood again. It's always been good. It just needs an update now and then, and happy days. I mean, IPG or PG in its current form has been running for donkeys now, hasn't it? So yeah, and I'm pleased that the Echolink side's doing what it should be doing. Seems to be working. It's the first real chance I've seen or heard it actually in full operation. Because I'm never here. I'm always running around. So I just set it up and off it goes. Happy days. So I'm happy about that. And I can see myself going out across the gateways and stuff like that. I need to get hold of a few stations in this local area and say, because I put PGs now permanently on Echolink 0D, 042D I should say, Echolink 042D, and all they need is the talk group 6, and obviously at the right frequency and colour code, and away they go. They can access it, so there you go. But obviously with the YSX gateway, that's still humping away, and I know it's getting out. I hear it in very strange places around Wales. I mean, I've been down to Aberystwyth and I can hear it, which is a bit scary. It's nothing special, but it's on a huge antenna, very, very tall. So it's doing what it should be doing. So yeah, it all works, and keep them going. I've been badgered a little bit to set up an analog gateway here, and I'm actually thinking about doing it in vain now. But it's another radio, another computer, another gateway here in the shack. I've just got so many. But my primary is to get this PC working so I can get back on FT8, because I'm feeling a little bit lost. I don't want to have to pick up the microphone. I know people are laughing. I like doing the data. So it's all good stuff. Hello, Donna, if you're hearing us. Good to see you on there. I haven't actually signed in on my YouTube on the phone, so I'll have to do that so I can at least get involved in the chat a little bit. But apart from that, Chris, over to you. Gosh, have we seen that time? It's coming up to 20 to 9 already. Back to you.
Yeah, Mike 7, Charlie Sierra. Well, it's an added feature there, and of course, yeah, it puts the chat there. Of course, it puts all the chat in the same place, so it means I'll see it. Trying to help Andy if he's watching the live. Actually, I'm on the gateway again because I'm actually doing an OS update on the WSPD. Doing it live whilst we're talking. So as far as I know, audio is going out over the top of it. So yeah, it is, and I just heard the start of my over. So there's a bit of a delay there. So we're going to go around to Michael, Whiskey Alpha 5, Romeo India Papa.
Thanks, Chris. This is Whiskey Alpha 5, Romeo India Papa. And it sounds like we have a great net going on. When I first got on, there was a lot of an echo on the YouTube live stream, and so I had to turn it down, but it sounds much better now. So I've been turning it back up just a little bit so I can hear a little bit more of the loud of the overs. But I was going to let everybody know, I don't know if anybody has the situation I've got. I've got two VHF, UHF antennas that I like to use. One's indoors and one is outdoors, about 27 feet in the air. And I also have two HF antennas, one in front of my house, one on the back of my house. And I also have 1, 2, 3 HF transmitters and one VHF transmitter. Well, I bought myself a switch that'll handle up to 6 transmitters and 6 antennas. That way I can switch out between all of them. It's made by MFJ. It's a 1700C. MFJ is no longer in business, but they're selling all their stock. I don't know if it's gone down in price, but it's pretty handy to be able to switch around all these different antennas using different radios. It's made my life a little bit easier. The only problem I have with is with my old brain, remembering when to switch back to which antenna. I also have a dummy load hooked up also as if it is an antenna, so I can use any one of my radios, take it into a dummy load for testing. But if you're ever interested, you have multiple antennas, multiple transmitters, that's a pretty good option right there. It is a little bit pricey. It was almost $200 for what I paid for it. But maybe you might be interested in it. And with that, I'll turn it back to you, Chris. Whiskey Alpha 5, Romeo India Papa.
Yeah, Mike 7, Charlie Sierra. Thanks very much there, Michael. And yeah, it's all good there, of course. Yeah, doing an upgrade there on the hotspot live. Was you're chatting away there, and it seems weird because I'm hearing you, but of course, yeah, I'm using a different way in whilst I do that. And now, of course, yeah, I can see myself coming up on on the rig now. Everything seems to be kind of working. It says it's TX and DMR, but I don't think it's picked up my call sign. So it's all good there. So what we're going to do, we're going to see if anybody else would like to check in to the Wales Ragchew. Call sign, name and location, and an over. Okay, so that gave me enough time there to turn down the Yaesu radio. Well, not quite enough, but yeah, turn down the Yaesu radio, and of course I am now transmitting on that hotspot. I done a little upgrade on there, so yeah, it works. Well, it's working. So we'll try for Andy 2W0APD. He might have been just going along with the tutorial. We have got a happy birthday as well for Neil Thomas, if you are listening. Mike Whiskey 6 Foxtrot Golf November. It is your birthday today. Yep, we will now go round to Andy and see if we can get him to W0 APD. Okay, nice gap left there, and of course, yeah, nothing was heard there. We keep trying, Andy, and hopefully, yeah, you'll see on the live stream, you can actually rewind it and everything now. It's all on YouTube, and it should be there afterwards as well. So you'll be able to go in there, see what I typed in. Hopefully you are using WPSD. If you're not, it's pretty much the same command except for it is update and upgrade, but it's PyStar instead of WPSD. We'll go round to Rod G0 EUZ.
G0 EUZ, it's a group. Yeah, all good stuff there. Simon, I wonder, do you ever can't think of anything else at the moment, so I'll pass it. W.D.R.G G0.
yeah, everything all working this end now. Yeah, I think I might have found the little problem. And of course, yeah, the little problem was, I think I still have Brandmeister on. And of course, because I have, yeah, someone might have tried going through 235s, yeah, and hotspot got confused. But yeah, we did remedy it, and it was kind of not doing anything, and then I put an update through it, and then it was. So that's all good anyway. So next we will go around to Steve, 2W0.
W.D.R.G returning. Thank you, Chris. Yeah, to be honest, it blows my mind sometimes when how complicated your systems are there. I'm sure I'd never be able to understand them. Simon's a bit the same, so you two are definitely experts at what you do, but it all goes a little bit over my head, I'm afraid. As long as my two hotspots sort of work, I'm happy with that. With your mains filter, I've got an IC7300 that comes with a mains filter. Whether it does any good, I don't know, but when I did my full license course with bath-based distant learning, they had a whole section on mains filters. I'm not quite sure why, and they did have instructions about building your own, I think, but I'm sure at the time I did see that you could get a commercial one somewhere, but it was extremely expensive, I think. So not that I think building your own is going to be that cheap, but there we go. So maybe I'll get my papers out. I'm not sure whether I've still got all of them, so I might have got rid of that if I didn't think it was relevant. But I'll see if I can have a look for you. I've kind of finished doing FT8 now. I think I've done enough. I don't like to do too much because I think it puts too much strain on your transmitter. So I believe it's a high duty cycle, isn't it, FT8? So there we are. Okay, with that, back to you, Chris, M7CCS from 2W0VOG in a group. Back to you.
Yeah, Mike 7, Charlie Sierra. Well, yeah, Andy's having a little bit of a problem there. He's even tried using DStar. He said he gives up. I can't get onto our XLX server using DStar. I have to use the TGIF talk group. And of course, yeah, it's actually in the description of the live stream. It's on previous Ragchews on the Facebook pages. And it does tell you the tool group number there. I'm saying it's on the description there, and I can't even, yeah, I can't even see the description myself. Oh, I can. Yep, I can see the description myself. And of course, in the description, it does show all the ways in. So, yeah, look for the TGIF one under W.D.R.G. And, yeah, use that tool group, and you should be able to get in. Yeah, that's the best advice I can give, and we might hear you by the end of the net. We're now going to go around to Simon, MW0GSR.
M7CCS, MW0GSR. Wow. Loads to get through there. So, Peter, UKU. Yeah, he's definitely on. You'll hear him on VHF for our sake around here. I don't speak to him very often. I don't hang around on VHF very much. I'm always on here. But I do pass his house every other day. So if if I do hear him, he speaks to another colleague of ours up here called Will quite regular, and Clow over in Abersoch. So I'll make sure I pass the message on. And maybe even Ennaf. Ennaf probably would speak more than I would. So there you go on that side of things. Yeah, sorry to hear the passing of another operator there. As I'm getting older, I seem to be hearing about it more and more. I know it's just one of those things. I know it is. But yeah, it's that kind of week where we're looking at people's ages and things. But yeah, mains filters. Well, as you know, Chris, I'm very lucky where I live here. I'm very, very electrically quiet. And only a few yards down the road and we're virtually silent. I don't have too much mains-borne interference in this house. I do have a filter that I built many, many years ago, which is connected to my outputs for my radios, power supplies, and computers. And it seems to do the trick. I do recently, in the past year or so, I've noticed I'm getting a lot more RF interference coming from the builders across the road, and they're very dirty machines. If they're doing any work on a weekend and I'm here and I'm playing on HF, I can hear those dirty diesels, whatever. But it's not too bad. That's what my attenuator is for, and all my other filtering. So I'm quite lucky that way around. But yeah, mine's a homebrew one, and if you do come up, I'll show you. Very simply built, very simple thing, built it years ago. And in all fairness, don't particularly need it, I don't think. But, oh yeah, the other interference I did notice I started getting was one of the boys, my boys, bought a PS5. A PS5, and yeah, I noticed interference from that. But that was easy to deal with. A couple of beads, ferrite beads, and it's all gone on his system. So there you go. But apart from that, yeah, all rocking and rolling, what we're doing. So yeah, I haven't done this for months and months and months, but talking about gateways and all that kind of stuff, it's just complicated here, but not too complicated. At the end of the day, they're just hotspots, and I've got a few bridges involved and whatever. But it's all RF and it's all mechanical. That's the way we like it. Rightio, back to you, Chris.
Yeah, Mike 7, Charlie Sierra, thanks very much there, Simon. So, next we're going to go round to Michael, Whiskey Alpha 5, Romeo India Papa.
Well, thanks, Chris. This is Whiskey Alpha 5, Romeo India Papa. I didn't know if we were going to be doing the 73 round now or not, but I'll go ahead and say that it's been a good week. My wife has had some health issues, but we're addressing them as they come up, and hopefully things will improve as she goes. I have people all the time asking about her liver transplant. She is going to have a liver transplant, but it's a kind of a drawn-out procedure if anybody's been down that path. That's not something that happens overnight. So they're treating her issues as they come up because your liver don't work right. All kinds of things happen just that you never would think about. So we're treating her symptoms and keeping her going till the liver transplant takes place. But we appreciate everybody's kind thoughts, and thanks for everybody thinking for me this week. My little illness is nothing compared to what she's got going on, so I'm just kind of shake it off and try to keep going. And with that, I'll turn it back to you, Chris. Whiskey Alpha 5, Romeo India Papa.
Yeah, Mike 7, Charlie Sierra. Well, of course, yeah, it's well, drawn-out procedure there, and yeah, you don't do things overnight, as to say. But of course, yeah, you've got, you know, you seem to be coping, and of course, yeah, you stay strong there. Of course, yeah, you've probably cooked more as well. So that's all good there, and of course, yeah, talking with Donna on the chat there, and of course, yeah, I've done quite a bit of cooking this week. Ask me what I've cooked, I can't really remember, but yeah, I have done quite a bit of cooking this week. So Donna was a little bit poorly, so yeah, you kind of help out, don't you? That's what you're meant to do. What we'll do is see if anybody else would like to join us, yeah, if not, we'll go round and we will start doing the 7-3 round. There's only 1, 2, 3, 4 to do it, so of course it won't be a problem. So what we do is see if anyone does want to just get their name in the log and of course called into the Wales Ragchew Net at the end there. Okay, nothing heard, so we'll go round to Rod, G0, EUZ, last over and 7-3. Round to you there, Rod.
G0, EUZ, returning to the... I mean, if you could pass the message on, that'd be great. We used to work bigger a lot when we were... I know I used to work from when I lived up north. I worked in quite a lot, you know. And turning on time. Sure, it's a shame. So yeah, yes, Michael, I'll and yes, we do to go through an awful lot, which is. But there we go. We can't choose these things, can we? So I'll say 7-3s, everybody. Have a good week, as best. M7CCS, G0 using 7-3s on.
Yep, 7-3 to you there, Rod. So next we're going to go round to 2W0VOG for your last over and 7-3.
W0VOG, returning. Yeah, seems to have gone very quickly tonight, actually. Very interesting. Nice to hear Simon on. Michael, hope your wife doesn't have to wait too long. And one, she'll be chasing you around. All the best with that, and hope you both get back to much better health soon. Cheerio to Rod and Simon. Yes, Simon. Did I mention? I mentioned you already, Simon. Right. So cheerio, Simon, twice. Yeah, 73 to everybody, and best wishes from me in Penarth in South Wales, and. Thank you for being net controller, Chris. A really good job as usual. Despite 1 or 2 little glitches, everything worked out well in the end. So, M7CCS from 2W0VOG, wishing everybody 73. Back to Chris.
Yeah, Mike 7, Charlie Sierra, thanks very much there, Steve. And yeah, you do get a couple of glitches when you change over to another system, and of course, yeah, there was me trying to add scenes and actually add things and yeah, help myself out, but of course, yeah, the audio was already coming from somewhere else, so yeah, didn't realise that it was, but of course, yeah, we got rid of the echoes and it's all good. Of course, yeah, there's more scenes to build. It's always when you're on the actual Ragchew that you think of a scene to build. But of course, yeah, more scenes to build there, and of course more windows, and be able to do a little bit more there. So yep, bid you a 7-3 for now, and we'll go around to Simon for his last over, and his 7-3 MW0GSR.
Well, thank you very much, Chris. Excellent. Another great net. Good to be back in. Hopefully I won't be too distant in my next walk back in there. And but work is work. Got to keep plodding. Got all this amazing equipment to pay for. There you go. But yeah, seasons are changing. Yeah, Michael did mention it earlier on. And yeah, they have their special days coming up. I think we're having some sort of weird party here in a few weeks' time. Something to do with the daughter and Halloween, but that's not for a while yet. And then it's the big one. That's all going to be happening. But yeah, good to hear you all. Michael, Steve, Rod, yourself there, Chris. Many happy returns to our mate Neil, if he's listening. I've sent him a message. Thanks for reminding me, Chris. For some reason, I didn't see it come up on the old Facebooky stuff today, but never mind. And yeah, Sutty, if you're out there listening, hello to you and everybody else, all the shortwave listeners. So from here in Porthmadog, my family that are all running around like loonies, and myself, Big 7-3. We'll catch everybody shortly. All the best. MW0G, so back to you, Chris.
Yeah, Mike 7, Charlie Sierra. Well, it doesn't actually come up on his QRZ, not his QRZ, on his Facebook. It doesn't come up with his birthday. So, of course, yeah, it's not there. And, of course, Donna's got a good memory, and she remembered. So, of course, yeah, he was wished a happy birthday, and however he may be celebrating that. So, we're going to go round to Michael now, who had a late note from the wife for being late in. That was just a little joke, but of course, yeah, it's on then on the log. So we're gonna have the last over and 7-3.
Thanks, Chris. It's Whiskey Alpha 5, Romeo and Papa, and I appreciate the late note. I'm glad you wrote it up for me so that I wouldn't get in trouble. It was a great net. I hadn't heard Simon in a while. Hope they're not working you too hard out there, Simon. You need to take some time off so that the family can take it, use and abuse you. Good to hear from you, Stephen. You were missed last week, and you looked a kind of empty spot in the net, but we suffered on through. Rod, good to hear from you also. Hope everybody has a great week in the coming week, and hopefully I'll be on time next week on Saturday for the Wales Ragchew Net. Take care, everybody. 73, Whiskey Alpha 5, Romeo India Papa.
Yeah, Mike 7, Charlie Sierra. Well, yeah, 7-3 there, Michael. Yeah, it'd be good if you're on time. I'm only joking. Hi. And of course, yeah, everybody, if you're watching on the YouTube, if you click the little subscribey button, not for any other purpose other than it'll give you the little bell and it'll give you a heads up that there's a scheduled live stream or the live stream. I'll do my best to carry on posting the actual link out onto the Facebook pages as well every Saturday. And then, of course, yeah, it's just a case of clicking the link there. So, yeah, in the net tonight, we had 2W0 APD. We had M7 EMH was listening there. We had N6 UTC, NDAF. We had an over. We had G0 EUZ. We had Brad, KG5AZX, we had 2W0 VOG, or GW5 VOG, Steve, MW0 GSR Simon, and Michael, Whiskey Alpha 5 Romeo India Papa. I was Mike 7, Charlie Sierra, 7-3, and catch you next week for the Wales Ragchew Net. Don't forget to join City for his nets on a Monday and a Wednesday, and that is from 4:30 p.m. On the same networks there. No live stream for that one. 7-3 for now.
Yeah, 7-3, Chris, great net, thanks very much. But I just forgot to mention, and I'll run away, but I wish your Donna many happy returns live on your net for Wednesday. Hope she has a great birthday. All the best, 7-3 from MW0GSR.